What's up, movie fans and Netflix bingers? This is the Bros Who Binge Podcast. My name is Adam Schubert, and as always, I'm joined by Lyndon Burton. Lyndon, how are you doing this week?
Doing well, man. Can't complain. We got a big movie to talk about, Suicide Squad. Super excited about that.
Huge.
Also, see, last week, Bachelor fans, if you were watching us and you love our Bachelorette commentary, I'm sorry I didn't watch last week because Schubert undersold this. And Katie looked bad. Katie looks really bad, bro. Like, you was trying to say.
Did you even watch the finale?
Yes, I watched the finale. Yes, I saw her try to talk shit and use what the internet said about Greg again. It's not time for that because I got a lot to say about that. She was wrong. You can't. A man can't tell you. A man cannot tell you. You feel the hole in my heart, and you look him dead in the face and say, "I love looking at you," and then say, "Oh yeah, you're getting the rose." Bitch, I just told you. You feel the hole in my heart. Did she have nothing to say? Man, look. And then she kept saying, you should have said goodbye. Goodbye? Bitch, you chose Blake. I'm not telling you goodbye. What's wrong with you?
She never chose Blake at that point.
Bruh, she was going to choose Blake, man. We knew she was going to choose Blake. So we're not doing this now because we're going to do this later. But I did watch the finale. Yeah. And Blake should have been mad that her ass was salty at Greg. I'd have been like, well, damn, I thought we happy. You had a little too much spice. But we're going to get in all that.
Wanted to get salty at next.
Exactly. We're going to get in all that. But I'm excited to talk about that. Suicide Squad and then Untold. I really like this. See, Netflix is winning me over with certain things.
Well, it's only the first one.
But I'm just saying, Netflix is winning me over with certain things. I like how they've been doing anime recently. They Shaman King out, Record of Ragnarok. I'm liking that. This Untold series could be big for them because I'm a sucker for sports docs, and they're doing the grittier side of sports doc. Like that boxing one with that woman who's trainer, that shit gonna be crazy. The dude who could have beat Federer is gonna be crazy. Yeah. And like learning about Bruce Jenner will be interesting. But I'm excited for Untold and to talk about that, but we got a lot to discuss, man. Glad to be back.
Yeah, it's cool. Untold's like, what, every other week or something like that, or maybe every week for the next...
I think it's it might be every week.
The Caitlyn Jenner one comes out at the end of the month, and I think that boxing one comes out next week.
I think so.
Yeah, and the Marty Fish one, I think, is in September.
Okay,
but yeah,
cool.
I mean, that was really cool. So it's crazy. We had a pretty good week of stuff with Suicide Squad and and Bachelorette ending and Untold and lots of really great stories that came out. Some stuff that we're really excited to talk about. But yeah, Lennon, if you're ready, I mean, we could just go ahead and jump in on this because it seems like we're already ready to get to the end. All right. So
wait. We can't get started until. Yeah.
Bam. There we go. So big news coming out in the Star Wars front. Disney Plus's upcoming live-action series Ahsoka is reportedly looking to cast an actress to portray Sabine Wren in live action. Reportedly, the actor will star opposite Dawson in what is presumably going to be a significant role. So we assume significant actress. Some fan casts that I've seen, the big one is Chloe Bennett. Some other
she did just leave Powerpuff Girls. She said, fuck this. She's out.
Yeah, and could that be because maybe they've been asking her about the possibility of moving into playing Sabine Wren and getting involved with that filming?
It's possible.
Claudia Kim, Tira Sircar, she was the voice actress who played Sabine, fits the description, could definitely play her in live action. And we've seen with Lars Mikkelsen that they are thinking about bringing in voice actors from Rebels to play their characters. So that could definitely happen. Jessica Parker Kennedy is another name I saw. Zoe Saldana would be a bigger name. I doubt that would
look too old.
Pan out. But I mean, what has she been doing lately?
Yeah, true.
I mean, she's about the same age as Rosario Dawson, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. Sabine's supposed
younger,
to, yeah, Sabine's supposed to be a little younger.
I mean, at this point, she's gonna be pretty old.
That's fair, but you know, there's some other names that excite me more than Zoe Saldana. Let me say that.
You know, our real world challenge girl, Jamie Chung.
Shout out to Jamie Chung, man.
She's definitely a possibility,
especially after Lovecraft.
You know,
she did a good job.
She did a good job with Lovecraft, and I think she's definitely trying to move into getting some more serious roles. But could she pull off some of the fighting that would need to be done for Sabine? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Grace Park is another name that's been out there. She's obviously been in some things where she's done some action. Priyanka Chopra from Quantico.
Priyanka Chopra, isn't that Nick Jonas's wife?
Yeah, but she was the star of Quantico.
She's deaf too old.
She's an actress, serious. But
I know,
Naomi
but she's definitely too old.
And then my two favorite fan casts on the list: Jessica Henwick, who already has been in Star Wars, but not anyone that was serious enough that you couldn't put her in as Sabine Wren. And I think the one that I think would be great, and they should probably do it if she wasn't busy, is Karen Fukuhara.
I love Karen, man. Fukuhara I'm a big Karen stan.
Would be great in this.
I love Karen. I just don't know if I want to see her in Star Wars. Like, I want to see her do other stuff, but this would be big for her to kind of get up there. I think I'm liking Jessica Henwick because I also have I'm really big on Henwick and Fukuhara, so I like both of those. I would like Henwick because we know she could do the action. But, I mean, I'm never mad if Karen Fukuhara gets a job. I just don't know if I want her in Star Wars. Go do an action movie, Karen Fukuhara. Go be like a Atomic Blonde movie. That's what I want.
You know, getting something, I guess, might be a stepping stone for her for that. Because, I mean, she is kind of...
True.
She's a main character in The Boys, but as a secondary main character.
She does need a thing, yeah.
I assume, whoever is going to play this role is going to be the second lead.
That's a good point.
That's my assumption, is that they are going to be, right there with Rosario Dawson. I think, you could definitely assume that because Chloe Bennett walked off the Powerpuff Girls set, that she could be in talks to get a larger role for something.
She's my third favorite.
Take up that time. So I think that's definitely possible. But there's some good ideas. We'll see what Disney ends up coming up with. I'm glad it's not an open cast, that we don't
know the person.
We're looking for Sabine's description. They're looking to get someone that's going to be
a name,
a name that's going to push the needle for sure. So they definitely need that. Big news for Paramount Plus. South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone have set an expensive new deal with Viacom CBS.
They left HBO, man.
That calls for the pair to produce 14 movies for Paramount Plus, based on the enduring Comedy Central animated franchise. The pact also renews South Park as a series for Comedy Central through its 30th season, that would go to 2027. That's 3 additional 10-episode seasons of South Park. Bloomberg News reported that the deal was valued at $900 million over a 6-year term. 3 additional 10-episode seasons.
Ooh, they made $900 million men. Good for them. They deserve it. This is gonna be great. But 14 movies?
Yeah.
Don't know what that could
14
be.
14 movies about what?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know.
But you could. They don't say how long those movies could be. They could be hour longs. I think you could do a movie that could be the Mr. Hanky Christmas special. You could do a Towley movie. I don't know. You could do an Avengers type movie with the Super Friends.
What's Chef doing?
What's Chef doing?
You could do a Lord of the Rings movie, how they have the D&D game they play, like you said, the Super Friends with Kenny being the question. You could get some stuff off of that. You definitely could. I'm just interested to see what they do, man. Good for them. Like I said, I'm big fans of them. I've been rewatching Futurama and South Park's the next thing I rewatch, because I've been going through adult comedy animation. Just did King of the Hill, Bob's Burgers before this Futurama run. I've been loving Futurama, so I'm ready to get to South Park.
Yeah, I actually did a Bob's Burgers one. It was funny why you did. or you're wearing that
It's
shirt,
my
because I
favorite.
actually hadn't caught up on the most recent season, so I just watched the
It's
most
great,
recent season.
huh?
It's pretty fire.
Because you're a
Yeah.
hater.
I'm not really a hater. I mean, I just didn't really think that I was going to get too excited about a Bob's Burgers movie.
I'm still hyped for it.
But I think
I'm ready for it. Give it to me.
Whenever that happens.
Yeah, for real.
But so let's jump into the trailers. Let's talk about Bachelor up front. Bachelor in Paradise gave their
looks
trailer.
wild.
I don't know if you caught it at the end. Did you? Oh, it's wild.
Looks wild. They had people humping, girls kissing, dudes kissing, women and dudes kissing. It was up. And then we see grocery store Joe and old girl. He's like, why did you come here? And he was like, she's here to ruin my shit. And I'm like, Kendall, you should have never been with this dude in the first place. Then seeing Thomas with Becca Kaufman, I was like, run, bitch, run. Do not be with this dude.
Why? What did Thomas do?
Bro, fuck Thomas, bro. What are you talking about?
All he did was want to come on the show to be a part of the show. Don't they all?
Man,
what did he do wrong?
Fuck Thomas, bro.
He didn't do nothing.
I don't want Becca Kaufman with Thomas. I like Becca Kaufman too much.
I don't care about Becca.
Thomas is a bad
Not enough to know her name.
Huh?
Not enough to know her
Her
name.
name's Becca Kaufman.
No, Becca Kufrin. Kuffrin.
Kufrin, Kaufman, same diff. Shout out to Beck. But yeah, I'm excited to see Aaron fight Thomas.
I thought, I didn't see... Well, a lot of names that they put out there weren't announced. Like, at least they announced Becca right before, and I knew Thomas was going to be on there because I knew that she and Thomas were going to have a thing. But to see Demi on there, and Demi's causing a lot of shit.
Yeah, is that blonde girl? I don't know who she is. I didn't see her season.
Yeah.
But she looked like she was starting mess.
Well, this would be her second Paradise. She was on Paradise last season, and was dating this dude, and then her ex-girlfriend came.
Ooh.
And then she and her ex-girlfriend got engaged on Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh, so she coming to make mess. Okay.
And she's just coming to make mess because she was just on the celebrity dating game, so we know she's not going to come away with anyone in this. So she's just there to cause a ruckus between guys and girls. She's just going to fuck everything up. It's going to be fun. It looks wild. Absolutely wild.
Okay, I'm excited for that.
And something else that looks absolutely wild: Prisoners of Ghostland. Nicolas Cage coming in again with another weird one.
The Cage-a-sons, man. The straight-to-DVD Cage-a-sons. Look, I'm interested in this. It looks like one of the better ones that he's done. I still need to watch Pig. I still need to watch. There's another Nicolas Cage movie that I need to.
What, Willy's Wonderland?
Yes.
Did you see that one?
I still need to watch Willy's Wonderland. But I'm excited for the Cage-a-sons.
This looks better than Willy's Wonderland. I saw Willy's Wonderland. This definitely looks it could be better than that. It comes from the same people he's been doing lots of other stuff with, like Colors of Space. So I mean, he's worked with these filmmakers before. Coming off Pig, which I've heard is super good.
Pig's amazing.
So we'll see. We'll see how this comes out for Nick Cage. I think that this movie comes out next month.
Okay, gonna watch this though.
But it looks wild, man. There's all sorts of weird stuff.
Good for them
going on in this, and he's got bombs all over him and stuff like that. It's like a mixture of Guns Akimbo meets samurai meets zombies or ghosts or whatever. The hell.
Like some cyberpunk shit. Yeah, no, it looks nuts. It absolutely looks nuts.
And again, keeping on the theme of nuts, Doom Patrol Season 3. I never finished Season 2, so don't get too much into the details, but I did watch the teaser trailer, and it does look like it's going to get pretty insane.
Looks like we're seeing, I don't know if you remember from the OG Teen Titans show, but it looks like we're getting the Brotherhood of Evil. You see the monkey with the beret who's like the henchman of... I can't think of his name right now, but the leader of the Brotherhood of Evil, the Mind or whatever his name is, the brain, the brain in the machine. He's in there. So if the Doom Patrol's finally gonna fight Brotherhood of Evil, this is gonna be a good season.
Definitely. I have to catch up with Season 2 just so I know where everyone's at. But the Doom Patrol has gotten so much critical acclaim, and I think people are really starting to buy into it. So it's good they come back for Season 3 and hopefully build some more momentum off what they had. We've already seen the Brendan Fraser's getting more roles, probably because of some of the stuff that he's been doing in Doom Patrol.
That's a fact.
And rightfully so.
Yep.
So we'll see what what comes this season.
Yep, hype for it. Good for them.
I think that starts the end of September.
Yep.
Which, doesn't Titans start in a few weeks?
No, that's my movie on the rise. Titan starts tomorrow.
Oh.
We're reviewing that next week. Titan starts tomorrow, and I heard it's really, really fucking good. Like, I was saving that for movie on the rise. Like, really good. But I did hear the complaint of it. There is a complaint, but me and you aren't going to be mad at the complaint. So I'll save that for movie on the rise, though.
Yeah. So let's talk about clickbait. Clickbait with Adrian Greener.
Call him by his name, Vinny Chase. Vinny Chase, bruh. My man,
the OG Aquaman.
My man is looking bad. Like, he got kidnapped. This person kidnapped him because he's an abuser. It seems. Did he? We don't know.
Murderer.
Yeah, crazy. This looks interesting. Doesn't look bad. I'll say that.
Yeah, I like this kind of the story. I think it's going to be like a limited series, or maybe not a limited series, maybe just a series.
Oh, I thought it was a movie.
It seems like it's a little bit more. This seems like it's going to be a lot more than a movie. I mean, they went through a lot.
They did, but see, I just thought it was going to be like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour movie.
I mean, let's find out. I mean, clickbait.
Yeah, let's see.
But yeah, anyway, a lot of stuff seems to be happening. This kind of reminds me of like Gone Girl in a sense, where like they're talking about disappearances.
Yeah, it's looking like this is a movie, Schubert.
A collection of stories of how people's controlled impulses.
Oh, it's a TV show?
In the age or so.
Oh, yeah, it's a miniseries.
8 episodes.
Okay, it's a miniseries.
Maybe miniseries.
Yeah, it's a miniseries. Okay, it's a TV show.
All right.
Nice. All right, good for Vinny Chase.
Father, husband, brother, liar.
And we're going to find out.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty good.
So I'm definitely watching
that. Definitely going to watch that
Yep, that's a fact.
Let's end on a high note. So let's talk about Journal of Jordan first. Journal of Jordan, Michael B. Jordan, starring in a Denzel Washington directed film, where Denzel Washington seems like he watched all the Hallmark movies and was like, "Yeah, let me make one of those."
Denzel, bro, like, as Schubert said, what, you're shitting on the name Journals for Jordan when it's Michael B. Jordan and Denzel, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, but when I see the name Journals for Jordan, it's someone writing something for someone because he died, and that's exactly what happened in this. Michael B. Jordan's a military man. It looks like he dies, and it's the journals for his kid, and the wife's reading it. Straight Hallmark, straight Dear John notebook shit. Good for them, but this isn't my bag.
I just don't understand why Denzel thinks that this is what he wants to attach his name for in directing. Like this is going to be my directorial, but I don't know if it's
his debut was Fences. Yeah, he killed it with that.
So like we hear that he directs Fences, and then we're like, okay, Denzel's going to direct another movie, and then it's like this, like what? Like, what are we getting here? Like,
no,
like
look,
everything I saw about this, I was like, well, no. And so I went into this, and I didn't know that it was directed by Denzel until I was watching the trailer. Until the very end, I was like, Denzel directed this. Like,
he even puts his voice at the end. Watching? He's like, tune in this Christmas, only in theaters. I'm Denzel Washington.
I'm done with that. All right, The Witcher. I don't want to say its whole name. I don't remember.
It's just the Witcher anime movie
that's coming to Netflix.
Looks fucking great.
That's a series, right?
It's a movie. No, it's a movie. I know for a fact this is a movie. That looks fucking great.
Well, that makes me a little bit more excited. It looks like it's gonna be pretty tight.
That's what I was saying. Like
a one-off story in The Witcher universe.
That's why I gave Netflix their props. If I'm gonna shit on them for the anime live action and some of the movies they do, I'm gonna give them props for stuff they're doing right. And what they're doing right is anime. They've put out Record of Ragnarok. I really enjoyed. High Rise Invasion. I really enjoyed. I finally watched the Netflix original that people love called Kakaguri. Finally watched it last night. I watched like 3 episodes and had to stop because I was just too enthralled in it. But it's basically about gambling. Really good. Netflix has Shaman King out now. I enjoy Eden Zero. So they've been doing anime really well. And one of the things they thrive with.
Yeah, I didn't put that on here, but like I did see the Eden Zero trailer that got released pretty recently.
Yep.
That looks. At first, I was like, "What is Eden Zero like?" This guy, he wants to be friends with like 100 humans, and I'm like, I don't know if I can buy this. But then like the fighting scenes looked really tight. I was like,
And the story's not just about him being friends. It's a spaceship journey to go find like part of creation. Like, nah, it is great.
Mother.
Yep. So, but this Witcher anime movie, gory, bloody to the point of The Witcher. Loved it. I'm in. I'm sold. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna watch this.
I feel like it's gonna be a little bit of foreshadowing because you got The Witcher, and then you have that witch that he was traveling with and battling with. And I'm like, is this like a precursor for what we're gonna be seeing in season 2 with Yennefer and Gerald? So yeah, I'm kind of bought into that. I really want to check that Witcher movie. When is that coming out?
Next week, I think. Yeah, next week.
Yeah. So
definitely gonna be watching that next week.
I guess that'll be on our Movie on the Rise next week.
Yep, that's a fact. So. Next up, we got NBA star Steph Curry. Will be the subject of a new documentary from A24 and Ryan Coogler titled Underrated. The film will chronicle Curry's historic rise to prominence from during March Madness when he played for the Davidson Wildcats. The all-star athlete, considered one of the greatest shooters in NBA history, currently plays for the Golden State Warriors, won 3 national championships with the team. In college, Curry set the single-season NCAA record for three-pointers and was drafted in the NBA in 2009. Wait, what were you saying?
You could tell
he said national champ.
Understand basketball.
Yeah, that's a fact because
who wrote this article.
He won 3 national championships. No, he won 3 NBA finals. Yeah, but it's okay. Is it too early for Steph doc? Like, I'm all for Steph getting a doc.
Yes,
but is it too early?
He got one before LeBron.
Yeah,
well, I guess LeBron did get one.
Well, LeBron had one in high school.
So, like, I could see that if this was more focused on Steph pre-Davidson to draft, I could say that that's fine. But if it gets too much into the NBA stuff, and it's like his NBA story is still happening. Like, he still has the ability to win titles.
That's what I'm saying.
His team is not bad.
That's what I'm saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're back. Shuby, now, what were you saying about Steph? Because to me, my thing is, it might be a little too early for him to get one. But if it's more about Davidson, I'm okay with it. But I just think that would be better served with when everything's all said and done. You go from Davidson to Golden State. You do the whole thing, the normal sports doc route.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they would do more of that. And I feel like, when we talk about Untold later, there's plenty of sports stories that could be told in a documentary format that you don't necessarily have to use current guys. But, if they were going to focus on, because it seems like they're going to focus on Davidson, they're going to focus up to when he was drafted. I'm like, well, if you want to do a documentary on all that, that's cool. But then the other thing that really kind of
the championship.
Yeah. So I don't really know about all that because, I don't really want a documentary about all of that because I want a documentary about that is more so
about that.
About only that. I want Draymond Green and his story and his,
KD,
how that came into how that all came into Sean Livingston, there's a really great stories that have to do with the
choosing Steve Kerr over Mark Jackson, having the Mark Jackson segment of the thing and being like, well, we ain't really. I hope Draymond's like, nah, I'm gonna just be real. Mark Jackson was trying to make us pray too much, and we ain't fucking vibe with that. I just want that. I just want it to be Mark Jackson's talking, and then you cut to Draymond. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm just keep it a bean. I wasn't rocking with that dude.
Yeah.
And then I would have a graphic of Steve Kerr driving a car, enter Steve Kerr, and he just parks in fucking an animated version of Steve Kerr in a car, and he just parks in California. You see Mark Jackson just fly out of there. He's out of here.
Hey. Yeah, I'm definitely excited about when we actually get the Warriors dynasty doc.
Yep.
But when it comes to Steph, I'm seeing A24 and Ryan Coogler's name attached. That's pretty big.
So like we said, if it's just Davidson, I'm cool with it. But I want the others because for example, I'm gonna save it for Untold. I'll bring this back up in Untold because Untold did a good job of skewing more towards Jermaine O'Neal. Because Ron already had a documentary. Steven Jackson doesn't need a documentary. And Reggie already had a documentary. So they made the main focus Jermaine, and I think that was a win for that. But next up, we got Francia Risa, Tom Ansley, Tien Tran, and Siraj Sharma are set as leads opposite Hilary Duff in How I Met Your Father. Riza will play Valentina Sophie's, who is Hilary Duff's roommate. She's an inspiring stylist and Sophie's great friend. She's impulsive and adventurous, and Sophie relies on Valentina's ability to cheer her up when she gets down. Valentina has just come back from London Fashion Week with the gorgeous British Charlie played by Ainsley, an aspiring model who fell in love with Sophie's roommate, Valentina, at London Fashion Week and followed her to New York. The son of conservative aristocrats, Charlie's a great guy, but is living in a rich person's bubble his whole life. Tran is Ellen, Jesse's adopted sister, who just moved to New York from a small farming town after separating from her wife. Ellen's more comfortable on an organic lettuce field in a Brooklyn dive bar. Sharma portrays Sid, Jesse's best friend and roommate. He's a new bar owner, and he plays the optimist to Jesse's cynicism. They joined previously announced series regular Chris Lowell,
who I believe is playing that Jesse character.
Yeah, I was like, who's this Jesse guy? But okay, so I'm guessing that's the person that loves Hilary Duff.
Probably so. I guess it would be like the Robin of that group.
And it sounded like Sophie's gonna be, or Valentina's the Marshal.
I would guess, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
it's definitely going to be its own dynamic, and a lot of people's arguments of How I Met Your Mother really doesn't cater to today's thought process on life. So, I think it's going to be a totally different story. I'm hoping that it is a completely different story, because I don't want this whole deal where like Sophie falls in love with Jesse or whatever the hell. Well, let her actually meet someone. The show is How I Met Your Father. Let us like actually end with them like meeting the person that they're supposed to be with, not to be there the whole time or whatever. Or I guess like I wasn't what How I Met Your Mother was about, but I mean, I hated that ending. I hated
it. I wasn't a How I Met Your Mother guy, but I've heard this from you numerous times, so I get it. But next up, we got Idris Elba. She joined the cast of Sonic the Hedgehog as Knuckles. Good for Idris, man. And right after Suicide Squad, big dubs, because we're going to talk about Suicide Squad. And I see you Marvel haters out there, boy. Y'all are something else talking about Suicide Squad, but we're going to get to that. But shout out to Idris being Knuckles.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good move by him, jumping into Sonic, which I think both of us could agree that Sonic 1 wasn't that bad.
It was a success. I thought it was better than Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, and so I would agree with that. And I think, bringing him into Sonic 2, it seems like we're going to get more into the Sonic verse. I'm into it. I'm down for him being Knuckles. I definitely don't think this is a bad move by him.
I agree.
So Hulu has ordered a comedy pilot from Steve Levithan, who is best known for his work on Modern Family and in numerous other good, really critically acclaimed comedies. The pilot's going to star Keegan-Michael Key and Johnny Knoxville. The pilot, titled Reboot, is actually has Hulu in it. Hulu decides to reboot an early 20s family sitcom. Its dysfunctional cast is forced back together and now must deal with their unresolved issues in today's fast-changing world. Levithan is the creator, executive producer, and the showrunner.
Okay. Keegan-Michael Key and Johnny Knoxville, 2000s family sitcom. I'll check this out.
Yeah, I think it could be pretty funny. Definitely, having a guy like Steve Levithan or Levitan being in charge of it definitely makes me think that this is going to be something that is really going to be supported. Hulu, they're doing How I Met Your Father. They're going to do this. Like, they have the attachment with FX. They're really putting out some really quality shows. They already had like Handmaid's Tale and stuff like that.
And I'm going to be honest, Keegan-Michael Key needs a win because Jordan Peele's winning the breakup. Just being honest.
I guess. I mean, I think.
What you mean you guess?
Well, I mean, he is, but I mean, like, behind the camera, I think Keegan has done some good stuff, and I think he's done some good work. Like, I'm really enjoying the show that he's on right now.
Which one? Friends from College?
Musical. No, the Schmigadoon, the musical. I think he's hilarious in that. So, I think he's...
Man, Keegan losing a breakup, Schubert.
He's been in some bad stuff, because, I mean, he was in the new Predator movie, which was terrible. So, he's definitely been in some bad stuff. But, who else was in that? Sterling K. Brown.
Hey,
So,
don't talk about my guy SKB ever again in a negative light. But I'm just being honest. Keegan Michael Key is losing the breakup. Jordan Peele put out Get Out, Us, about to drop Nope. My man has a production company that dropped Candyman that did the Twilight Zone. Keegan Michael Key lost the breakup. Like Jordan Peele's not trying to act. That's obvious.
yeah, that's obvious.
So
Um,
I just gotta be honest. But hopefully this is good for him. Because I mean, Friends from College was good. If you say Schmigadoon's good, then I need to check that out.
I don't know if you'd like Schmigadoon because you're not really much of a musical person,
See, it
and
just
like,
depends because I like the Greatest Showman. I like the Hugh Jackman as Barnum and Bailey musical. I thought that was decent.
what's good about Schmigadoon is that it is a comedy, and like Keegan Michael Key is the guy who is in the musical that is like, why the fuck am I in this musical? Like, and he's just a great for being that guy.
I have to check that out. What was that on Amazon,
Apple
Hulu?
TV.
Apple TV. Okay, I'll check that out.
Yeah. But I mentioned Sterling K. Brown. There's a story involving him now. In a competitive situation, Amazon Studios has landed the rights to pitch Cowboy Blue, an action film, Coyote Blue, which is an action film written by Derek Kolstad,
Nice.
the screenwriter behind John Wick and Nobody. Sterling K. Brown is attached to star. And Nell Culpepper from Star Trek Picard will make her feature directorial debut. The story revolves around an everyman played by Brown who's hunted by a ruthless criminal syndicate for his mysterious cargo and now must navigate the treacherous terrain of Route 66 while unleashing his lethal set of skills in a fight for survival.
Man, Derek Kolstad loves writing the normal guy who turns out to be a serious set of skills assassin. Good for Sterling K. Brown, man. Like I said, This Is Us is over, and he, to me, is the best one in This Is Us. So go get your bread, my G. Don't be like Milo Ventimiglia jumping from ABC hit to ABC hit. Don't do that. Get you into the movie world, SKB.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how he had that miss with Predators. I think this could be a good opportunity for him to have a win. Nobody was a good film. We know John Wick's great. This is Amazon Studios, so that they're going to put the proper money behind it. So I think this is a good spot for Sterling K. Brown to land in. I'd definitely watch this movie.
I agree.
So Dominique Fike, Minka Kelly, and Demetrius Little Meech Flannery Jr. have joined the cast of season 2 of Euphoria. While little is known about the plot of season 2, Fike told Variety that his character is a homie who hangs out with Rue and Jules. The musician and first-time actor also described his character as a degenerate who reminds him of his younger self. I don't really know much about
Minka Kelly better be a teacher.
Minka Kelly's definitely a teacher.
Yeah, because I was about to say she is too old to be chilling with Zendaya as like the new girl of school. No way.
No, yeah, Minka Kelly's definitely gonna be some kind of adult. If it's not a teacher, maybe someone that they encounter in
At the
everyday
rehab
world.
facility or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
Did you hear about how Lil Nas X was he was considered to be cast in this, but he pulled out. He said he wasn't ready. He was still working on his music.
See, I fuck with that kid, bro. Like, too many people hate on him, and you can tell it's the homophobia. I fuck with Lil Nas X. Industry Baby was a hit. Montero was a hit. Like, Lil Nas X doing the right thing. He said he's not ready. He gonna jump to acting when it's time. I see him. Dude, keep balling, Lil Nas X, because he'd have killed it in this, but he's not ready. He doesn't think he's an actor.
He specified. He said, "I'm focusing on the music. I really love Euphoria. It's not that I don't want to be in Euphoria. It's just that I don't think it's the right time."
Yeah, he doesn't think he's a good actor. Shout out to Drizzy. Drake, man, you never forget Drake. He produces Euphoria.
Oh yeah.
Never forget.
Yeah. So this is Euphoria's gearing up for a big season 2. Let me tell you. I mean, I think that the show are ready. And Zendaya has only gotten better.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So imagine what she's gonna put together now. It's crazy.
Euphoria is like the gossip girl right now for this era.
You name Drake, I'd say more so Degrassi.
See, it's more serious than Degrassi. That's why I said Gossip Girl.
But I'd say it's more serious than Gossip Girl.
It is. It definitely is. It 100% is. But yeah, I guess Degrassi was serious, but it's more serious than both of them. This is like a real prestige show on HBO that is like the teen show right now. So teens are lucky that they have Euphoria, but good for that. Next up, we got Lil Rel Howery, Billy Manganooson, and Jillian Bell will star in the ensemble comedy film Reunion. The movie is the first greenlit project for Artist Rhodes, the comedy film joint venture that was formed in October by Spyglass Media Group, Propgate Content, Artist First and Off-Road Productions, Artist Road, focusing on developing, financing, and all right, yeah, I don't care about none of that. The
Well,
pick,
no, I mean, yeah, it is kind of important. So, Artist Road is something that they put together that focuses on developing, financing, producing moderately budgeted commercial
oh,
comedy films with the genre's biggest names. So,
okay, so that is important.
yeah, they do help fund people who are coming up with comedy ideas that may not properly get funded.
Okay. Well, the pick puts a dark, humorous spin on the classic whodunit. It centers on a murder that takes place during a snowstorm at a high school reunion party, which leaves guests trapped in an isolated mansion trying to piece together clues. Chris Nelson is directing the movie. This is interesting because we're both coming up to our 10-year high school anniversary. I do
Yeah,
not. Are you going? Like
yeah,
they messaged about it in our group, and I was like, "Am I gonna go? Yeah, I'm gonna go because
yeah. I'm
I
gonna go.
got. Yeah, I gotta go.
I was telling someone the other day. I was like, if I don't go, I'm gonna do something. Like, it's more so like I may not want to hang out with the people that are going to be at the high school reunion, but like if people want to come into town to go to the high school reunion, I think we can come up with something fun to do. If we're being real.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah,
Like,
that's coming up. I'm excited. I guess I'm excited. Like, I don't know. Is this that's just the time where people go and flex like on each other. That's all that
see,
is.
I'm not really interested in the whole flex. I'm more interested in just like seeing people that I know are in different areas that I would like.
You're
Let's come
going for
back
the
into
real
town.
reasons. I'm looking at this in the most toxic way possible.
Well, I know there's people that are going to be doing that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like
I'm not like that interested
those
in going to the
guys.
event because I know who those people are, and they're definitely excited to go to the event so they can flex.
So they could flex. Yeah, fuck y'all, bro. Like, I'm not coming to see y'all flex. If y'all want, I'll tell you about my ESPN job, but that's not a flex yet. Like, I'm not at flex point yet. Soon gonna be at flex point, but not there yet. But they got people that are gonna go there and be like, yeah, me and my 6 degrees. Like, I'm making such and such like
Or like, for
you.
me, like I feel like the thing about my high school reunions and people be like, look at me and my wife and my
That
3 kids.
too.
Like
That
I'm just
too.
like, bro, I don't care about you and your 3 kids, yo. Like I'm sorry for you because I'm still going to fucking
Yeah,
Europe. So
I'm still getting faded on the weekends.
yeah, so give me a break, dude.
Oh, geez, the stigma of people who are our age having to have kids now is fucking upsetting. So yeah, that's another thing I'm not trying to see either. But this movie, as you can tell from the vitriol of this conversation we just had, is a proper vehicle for a movie. And Lil Rel Howery, look, I'm telling you now, Cena's on a run. That comedy with Lil Rel Howery and Cena is going to be a hit. You couple that with this, he could have 2 hits in a row.
Yeah, I mean, Little Rel's on the rise. Jillian Bell is always funny.
Yeah,
Billy
and Billy
Manganooson,
side.
but this is like Knives Out comedic. I'm
Mm-hmm.
interested.
Yeah, I am too. Next up, we got Ted Lasso. Co-creator Bill Lawrence has landed a series order at Apple for the drama Bad Monkey with Vince Vaughn attached to star. The series is based on Carl Hyacint's 2013 novel of the same name. It tells the story of Andrew Yancey, played by Vaughn, one-time detective demoted to a restaurant inspector in South Florida. A severed arm found by a tourist out fishing pulls Yancey into the world of greed, corruption that decimates the land and environment in both Florida and the Bahamas. And yes, there's a monkey. This sounds like Ted Lasso, but with cops.
Maybe. I mean, I when I read the description of this, and I was like, yeah, Vince Vaughn sounds like the right person for this.
He does.
Like it sounded like a Vince Vaughn show.
Yeah, I agree. Apple pulling the big names.
Yeah, of course. Bill Lawrence is going to find a home in Apple after the success of Ted Lasso. So
Him whatever he wants.
I haven't found a lot of things on Apple that I don't really like. So I think this would be pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Next up, we got Ryan Johnson and Natasha Lyonne's upcoming Peacock series has set Nora and Lily Zuckerman to serve as co-showrunners. The series titled Poker Face received a 10-episode order at Peacock back in March. Johnson created the series and will also direct and executive produce. Leone will star and serve as executive producer. Plot details are being kept under wraps. Aside from the fact that the show is a 1-hour mystery series, the Zuckerman's past credits include things like Fringe, Prodigal Son, Suits, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson's loving telling mysteries. I dig it. If that's gonna be his bag, I'm with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he may have found his pocket.
Telling
like,
murder.
I'm gonna be the mystery guy.
Noir, like that's great because you need that in the culture.
Yeah, and I think this is a good setup for Peacock, and Peacock did a really good job promoting that Doctor Death series. A lot of people are really talking about that, and it's caused a lot of people to buy Peacock. I mean, I still have not bought Peacock yet, but they're gonna get me closer. So, and this is a story like this is something that'll really get me excited.
Okay,
but the next story we got, Catherine Zeta-Jones is going to play Morticia in the upcoming Wednesday Addams series at Netflix. She will appear in a guest starring role as the iconic Addams family matriarch. She joins previously announced cast members Jenny Ortega, who's going to play Wednesday, and Luis Guzman, who was announced last week that he's going to play Gomez. So I guess the parents aren't going to play as big a role, but I guess we knew that because I think the description back when we read about it was like Wednesday goes to a boarding school or something like that.
Yeah. It's not necessarily about the family. It's about just Wednesday.
Yeah. But I mean, cool.
Yeah,
good
for
her.
them.
I haven't heard her name in a while.
Yeah, good for Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Byron Bowers and Tom Sturridge have joined the cast of HBO and A24's Irma Vep. The limited series follows Mira, played by Alicia Vikander.
She's on a run right now. She's on a run. Green Knight. Now this. I see her. Let's go, Vikander. People counted her out, man. I see you. Let's go, girl.
So Alicia Vikander's Mira is an American movie star who's disillusioned by her career and a recent breakup. She relocates to France to star as the character Irma Vep in a remake of a real-life French silent film classic, Les Vampires. As the actor begins struggling as the distinctions between herself and the character she plays blur and merge, the series reveals the uncertain ground that lies at the border of fiction and reality, artifice and authenticity, art and life. Bowers will play Herman, a Hollywood filmmaker visiting Paris to promote his latest film. He'll take Vidal's place for the time being in the Vampires project. Sturridge will play Irman, Mira's ex-boyfriend, who's also in Paris for a movie. They haven't seen each other since the breakup.
This is good for her. She's doing some real acting shit. So
A24 and HBO. Here we go.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. Good for Vikander.
So definitely excited to see more of that when we get an opportunity or a trailer or something like that.
Yep.
But Paramount Players' upcoming adaptation of the New York Times best-selling novel Razorblade Tears has found its screenwriter in Sherman Payne. Payne, best known for the HBO Max original Charm City Kings, will adapt S.A. Cosby's acclaimed novel for the studio division. The book is described as a southern noir about two men who team up to seek revenge for their murdered sons in the face of intolerance and prejudice in the rural South, finding redemption along the way.
All right, I'm cool with this. Need to see a trailer cast, but this sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely a good start for something. But being a Paramount deal, I guess this will probably end up landing on their streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know yet about all that.
Yeah. Next up, we got Thomas Lennon is developing the animated comedy The Postguard at Fox. The series is described as a workplace adventure comedy following the ragtag crew of humans, turtles, seals, and mermaids at the secretive and often overlooked mashup of the Coast Guard and Post Office as they scour the high seas to find and deliver messages in a bottle while setting who among them is in charge of the ship's menial tasks like resetting the Wi-Fi. Like I said, I've been watching Futurama, a delivery show in space. Kind of a delivery show meets the professor science experiments. This sounds like it could be very interesting, being Coast Guard, Post Office, delivering things, mermaids, a little fantasy. I'm interested in this.
Fox has been doing pretty well with their animated adult comedies. I saw that a few of them have been getting renewed. Like a lot of them have been getting critical acclaim. Of course they have.
I like Amy Poehler's.
Yeah, what was that? Duncanville,
and I like the one with whatchamacallit with Nick Offerman, the one in Alaska with his family, his wife's dead or left him or some shit.
Yeah, I don't remember what that one's called. But I haven't gotten a chance to watch all of them. But I mean, Fox is the place where you get The Simpsons, Family Guy, Bob's Burgers. So that they know how to develop these animated adult comedy. So could be good.
That's a fact. Next up, we got Mike Richards has been confirmed as the permanent host of Jeopardy. Kind of wanted it to go to LeVar Burton, but good for Mike Richards, I guess.
I mean, he was already the producer, so it was his decision. He
Was? He just gave it to
Yeah.
himself? That's some
Yeah.
big shit.
Taking the reins after being the producer and the process of on-air auditions to replace Trebek.
But why did he host? He just hosted auditions so it didn't look like he just wanted to give the job to himself.
Pretty much.
Wow, that's whack. Alex wouldn't fuck with that. Fuck you, Mike Richards. Should have been to my man Josh McCouga. Team McCougs.
Right, exactly. Friend of the show. First guest, I think.
Yeah,
But
one
anyway. Mayim Bialik, the former star of The Big Bang Theory, is going to host the primetime specials for Jeopardy. And that's going to start next year with the National College
So
Champions.
he's going to host the normal shit and she's going to host the big time shit. That's even whacker. Like, are you not good enough, Mike Richards? Because you're not, whack. Next up, the
Well, I think like it makes sense because like he's going to be the person that can do the day-to-day because Jeopardy is an everyday show.
It is.
So like, are you going to
Bialik can't do it every time. That's fair.
No,
but
and like
he's not a big enough name
Burton,
to carry names to the big time events. But I think LeVar Burton could have did it every day. He's not doing anything. He's just chilling. So I don't know. Aaron Rodgers could have got it too. Shout out to A-Rod.
Well, he's got to play football.
That one we don't know. Maybe the Circle. Oh yeah, true. The Circle, Indian matchmaking, and the American Barbecue Showdown have all been renewed at Netflix. Nice. The Circle have been renewed for both seasons 4 and 5. Season 3 of that series will debut this fall. Indian matchmaking and the American Barbecue Showdown have both been renewed for season 2. In addition, Netflix has ordered unscripted series The Roaring Twenties, which will follow 8 20-something years old living in Austin. Netflix has also announced that it's launching the largest ever open reality series casting call. Fans will be able to submit videos of themselves across a wide variety of NetflixReality.com. I'm going to do that when we finish. What? The Roaring Twenties? Huh? That's basically real world, but on Netflix. Wow! I'm in it. I'm going to apply. Like if I get it, hey, I'm going to that reunion saying I was on the Roaring Twenties on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix is finally figuring out their niche.
They should have been doing this.
Do reality TV,
cooking shows,
animes, like because you're doing them good right now, and do some scripted content.
They need to bring back Final Table. That's the chef competing series that they had. That was fire. I'm much rather that than Great American Barbecue Showdown.
But the other one on here, Indian matchmaking. My girlfriend really loved Indian matchmaking. I liked watching it with her, so I'm glad that's being brought back. The Circle coming back this fall. I didn't know it was coming back that soon.
Yeah, I know, that's really soon.
And getting 2 more seasons after this, great.
Yeah, really good. Like I said, I'm going to NetflixReality.com to apply for any of these shows. Even if you want
to too.
Might as well, bro. Might as well give it a shot.
Yeah, I would go on the Circle.
You'd go on the Roaring 20s too.
I only have 3 more years to be able to do that. So
yeah, we got to get it now. Like that's what I'm saying. Like they say they want someone in their 20s. We're in our 20s right now, and we could be like the old men on the show. Like that'd be lit.
That would be lit. So NetflixReality.com, and if you get on, if you apply and get on, tell them that you found out from the Bros Who Binge.
Yes, and shout us out on the show for real.
Yeah, be like that's my favorite pod.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's go into some quick stories that I wanted to get out before we get into the other stuff. So Bad Batch renewed for season 2 at Disney Plus.
Nice.
Great. It's ending very awesome. Like the past week's episode was phenomenal. Panic canceled after 1 season by Amazon. I took to Twitter when I saw this story and I was like, honestly, the way that it ended summed it up for me. Like I don't really need
any
more
Panic.
Season 2.
Gotcha.
So like, I think that it's fine. The White Lotus renewed by HBO for a 2nd season with a new cast of characters. Great.
That's awesome.
It makes a lot of sense why they would bring in a new cast. I would hope that they would keep some of the people who work at the resort. Have you watched that show?
I watched like the first 2 episodes. I haven't finished yet. It's great.
It's a pretty good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny. It's got drama. I really like it, so I'm glad that they're gonna keep that up. It'd be cool if they continue to do that
With different people with the
with
same
different
like
people.
group. Yeah.
Yeah. The Ultimate Slip and Slide has officially been flushed from the NBC schedule. The reality competition series paused production back in June following an outbreak of Giardia. If you don't know what Giardia is, it's a like a parasite that gives you diarrhea.
Oh shit.
It
Too
will not
too much
resume.
stuff going on that slip and slide.
Yeah, it will not resume production and therefore will not debut August 8th after the Tokyo Olympics finale as originally planned. Instead, Family Game Night will air in the show's intended time slot. If you've seen the commercials for Family Game Night, that's Dax Shepard and
And yeah, Kristen Bell's.
Kristen Bell's.
It's been all over Hulu, and then they went to Ellen.
Yeah. So that's a really gross story. But
Yeah.
no more Ultimate Slip and Slide. So sorry, Ron Funches. You're gonna have to go
Damn.
back to the
The
Weed
comedy
show
world.
and or or also be King Shark too.
True.
Sony's Funimation closes 1.2 billion Crunchyroll acquisition from AT&T. Plans to create a single anime service.
That's why Netflix is trying to hustle, because it's gonna be rough for them with Funimation and Crunchyroll teaming up. Sorry that VRV has to go. Hopefully they take away Funimation's shitty service so I can keep VRV, because VRV is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I don't know what this going. Yeah, I guess that is going to be bad for VRV, but one anime streaming site.
It's gonna be it's great. Yeah, you're gonna get
dubs. They include
dubs.
all titles,
No, it's gonna include everything, and that's good for you because now you'll get like your dubs maybe a little sooner.
Maybe so. I mean, I'm watching My Hero subbed right now, so
yeah. See, you'll get that on time for sure. But good for
honestly,
Sony.
Since we're talking about that, I don't know if I can go back to the dub.
I've been saying that for years. Years that dub is. See, I can't talk. I got friends who work on that dub now. I can't talk shit on it, but
it's not a bad one. I just don't. I just after
Deku's Deku is the flaw of the dub. Everything else about the dub, all like the people that I'm cool with that work on it are periphery characters. All of them are great. All the people that I'm even not cool with that are periphery characters, like All Might, all the sides are great. Deku ruins it. He ruins it. It's like I can't get behind it if the main character sounds like a dweeb, and that's not how sub Deku sounds.
And I mean, honestly, it's Deku and Bakugo for me. Like, I feel like both of their characters serve really good on the sub because Deku sounds a little whiny. Bakugo sounds like a little bit too mean. He almost sounds villainy on the dub. Where I feel like in the sub, they both
it's
kind
perfect
of
tone. Yeah, it's a perfect balance. I agree. Wait till you get on One Piece.
Characters are all
that's gonna change your view on One Piece, because you watching the One Piece dub to me is just disgusting. It's just it's atrocious. It makes me want to vomit. Like wait till you hear Law do a room. Like no, bro, the sub. We're not doing this right now. The sub of One Piece is amazing. But what we got next?
Well, I had on the bottom the Powerpuff Girls Chloe Bennett exits. We already talked about that. So the last story I have is Roku, the Roku streaming service, is going to unleash 23 more Quibi shows.
Oh.
Roku is ranked number 6 in the streaming wars by Nielsen ratings, which is behind Netflix, YouTube, Amazon Prime, Hulu, and Disney Plus, ahead of HBO Max.
That's just because HBO Max is new and a lot of people have Roku, but good for them.
Yeah, there are going to be newer shows that were supposed to air on Quibi, and then second seasons to shows that were already on Quibi.
Because so many people have Rokus. That's smart. I get it.
Roku's also looking at getting the canceled NBC show Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist and adding it to their streaming site. So look for Roku to kind of pick up the scraps for a lot of these other.
Yeah. Hey, it's smart.
It's working
you can make money just doing the scraps, so I get it. So now with that being said, it's time to get into this segment of the show where we suggest one movie or TV show or multiple that just came out or are coming out this week that we think you should check out. This segment is called Movie on the Rise, and I got 2 that I'm excited for. But Schuber can go first, get his little Disney Plus shit out of the way.
Whatever.
Shitting on Marvel.
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing. Just shitting on Marvel because I saw too much Suicide Squad hate from some Marvel fans, and I was like, y'all tripping.
Well, I take my Wednesdays on Disney Plus pretty seriously at this point. I've watched Turner and Hooch every week. It's not bad. I watched Monsters at Work, which actually has been hit or miss, but it had a really good episode this past week. They brought back the Yeti, the abominable snowman. That was a pretty fun episode. They did an Empire Strikes Back reference that I really appreciated. But the one that I have for Movie on the Rise this week is the season series premiere of What If. The first episode featured what if Peggy Carter took the serum instead of Steve Rogers.
Okay. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's the animation is a little bit meh for me. Like I'm sure a lot of people are like, "Oh, the animation is so cool," but I mean, like, it's really whatever to me. But I do think that the whole idea of doing these what if stories is really cool, and the way that they've gone about it without giving too much spoilers really kind of makes it feel like it's its own universe that could also tie in. So
Okay.
we'll see how that goes, but I'm pretty interested to see it. The one that I think is coming next week is what if T'Challa was taken instead of Peter Quill.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's whatchamacallit's last little his last
Chadwick
role.
Boseman, yeah.
Yeah, last role. Okay, that's next week though.
I don't know if it's next week, but I know it's coming up. That was what I saw with some of the
Okay.
preview.
Well, I'm gonna jump on what if. I'm gonna watch that, but I'm not running to watch it.
Star Wars fans at the moment are like, we need a what if. Like, let's do a what if for us, because like that would be really compelling.
Y'all need to get y'all shit. Y'all need to get y'all shit together before y'all get on.
I just want Star Wars Visions. Like, I could do without the what if. I could get Star Wars Visions, and that's fire.
Facts. No, that's facts. All right, this week I got Beckett, the new John David Washington movie, dropping on Friday with Alicia Vikander. I'm definitely watching that this weekend. Let y'all know what I think next week. But we're reviewing it next week. It's back, Titans season 3. Heard it's amazing. Only complaint might be the Dick Grayson show instead of the Titan show, but that doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. But they do say Beast Boy gets some love in this. He starts to get some more shine. Starfire, of course, and Blackfire are major in this, but I feel like they're major to the back half of the season. But the beginning is basically the Red Hood, Dick Grayson, with Scarecrow as this Hannibal Lecter role of being like an advisor from Arkham.
And honestly, if you think about it, the first season was pretty much Raven.
Yeah.
Second season was Raven mixed with some other Titans characters, Superboy.
A lot of Dick.
A lot of Dick, but like
Dick's been consistent.
He's been consistent, but like, is it too much to ask that we get like a whole Gotham season? Like, why not? We've been in San Francisco. We did the whole Raven thing.
We did that Hawk and Dove bullshit in their trailer park where the townsfolk didn't fuck with them. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for a Gotham season. And they say it's like first episode, they let you know like it's team. They're actually superheroes.
Cool.
So we're here, man. Tomorrow, gonna watch it. Excited, gonna review it next week.
Yeah. So without any further ado, let's get into the stuff we are reviewing this week. I guess starting with Untold. I don't know if we've kind of talked a little bit about it throughout the show already, so I don't know if we have too much really to talk about, but this Untold was the story of the Malice in the Palace.
Great.
Big names that were involved with that, of course, Ron Artest, Steven Jackson, Jermaine
Tim
O'Neal,
Donahue was in the documentary. I was like, I was shocked. I was like,
isn't this dude in jail?
That's the cheater. Like, I was just like, that's the guy who bet on NBA games. Why is he in this? But he reffed the fight. Like, it's crazy that, like, when you look at it, like, oh shit, the Fixer was reffing this Pistons and Pacers games. Was he a fan of the Pistons? He seemed like he was more biased towards the Pistons. Does that mean he was giving calls to the Pistons? I just don't think he liked Ron Artest. He did not like Ron Artest.
Which seems like a reoccurring theme for a lot of the people in this documentary.
A lot of people didn't like Ron Artest. But what I like about this documentary, allows us to, because the players got a negative connotation for forever. Like, even I remember, and I said this on the radio, and people were like, damn, you remember that as a little kid? And I was like, and when the documentary confirmed it, I was like, see, I do remember this. They just called them thugs the entire time. They were just like, these
The whole
fucking
time.
thugs, this hip hop era. And I remember that bothering me when I was younger, but just hearing it, I was like, huh? But then now it's like, when you look at it, it's like, damn, they would
Well,
never have said that today. The fans
well,
would have been persecuted.
I think it's bad a look for a lot of the people that were in this documentary.
Yep.
Because like a lot of them are still out there talking right
Keith
now.
Olbermann, Bob Costas. Bro, when I saw Bob Costas with a straight face say, these thugs, I was like, Bob Costas.
Bob Costas is like, turn this off.
No, but Stephen A didn't call him. Stephen A actually looked good.
Stephen A,
he actually
looked good, and he didn't have the nicest things to say, but he didn't call them thugs.
He looked the best out of all of them. But Keith Olbermann, Bob Costas, fucking oh man, there's so many that are there. Like Jim Gray looked good though. Jim Gray didn't look bad. And you could just hear Mike Green saying, "This is one of the worst things to happen to the NBA."
It made a lot of people look bad in hindsight. It was just like
David Stern looked real bad. Stern looked real bad. That the lawyer, that the DA was like, they got too much punishment for what they like. They were like the least people guilty in all of this.
Yeah, and like the cop that was in charge of.
Oh, the cops looked horrible.
Well, no,
the dude tried to tase Reggie Miller, like.
Yeah, that stuff was crazy. But I'm talking about the dude who looked at the tape and all that, and found out that his neighbor or whatever was the dude who did that. Like,
no, that was the DA.
Like, oh, that was the DA. Okay.
Yeah, that was the DA. That was the same dude. Yeah, no, the DA was like, yeah, this is my dumbass neighbor who used to date somebody I knew in high school. I'm getting this fuck. But those cops that almost tased Reggie Miller, that were going to tase Ron Artest, what were they doing? Like. Didn't
they have an interview with one of them? He was like, yeah, I didn't know like whether or not he was like on the team. He was in street clothes.
He's like, I didn't know who Reggie Miller is. How don't you know who the fuck Reggie Miller is in the fucking 2000?
Yeah, ridiculous.
Didn't make no sense.
But I didn't really understand a lot of like the context that was 2004 Pacers, because I didn't really remember that time a lot. I do remember the Malice at the Palace. I remember having the negative connotation that was given to me through the media because I was young. I didn't really pay attention to the NBA at that point. So like
watching the Ron Artest doc really sold for me because Ron was MVP candidate. Like the Pacers were one of the best teams. My first basketball memory was remembering the Pacers in the 2000 finals with Reggie Miller against Kobe. They whooped their ass, but I knew they were a good team, but from watching the Ron doc, it really put in perspective how good they were. Because Jermaine O'Neal was amazing. You have Ron Artest and Steven Jackson with Reggie Miller.
Well, I mean, they going into 2003 where they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. I didn't realize that, without Steven Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh man, like these guys were really legit at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for them, for what happened to them to have happened, I understand like why this is so bad for Reggie Miller. I didn't even really remember that Reggie Miller was on the team then, because obviously he wasn't playing because he was hurt at the time. So I, don't even remember all of that. But yeah, I mean, I had a negative connotation about Jermaine O'Neal for pretty much until yesterday when I watched this documentary. I just didn't really remember him in anything other than this incident, which just sucks. I mean, that's the whole point. That's the whole point that they did by making this documentary, so that people can realize that, these guys like were really. They were almost the Bulls of the 90s at this point. Ron Artest is your Dennis Rodman and Reggie Miller.
Ron Artest is better than Ron. Like, Ron Artest is arguably your best player. Like, that's how good. See, this documentary didn't do a good job of showing how good Ron Artest was. It made Jermaine be the guy. And Grant, Jermaine was, I'd say, arguably their best player. But Ron Artest was the Scottie Pippen of this team.
Yeah.
Like, Ron Artest was that damn good. It's crazy. But what made me laugh was the fan that was like, yeah, Jermaine O'Neal sucker punched me. And then the lady was like, yeah, he was in the room saying he was trying to get money. Dude went out with a stretcher with his neck, and he was like, y'all lost a fan, a long-time fan. Y'all should have sided with
him. That dude was a punk.
That dude was a douche.
Like, the DA was like, yeah, the dude came out of the stands, went on the court with a clenched fist at Ron Artest. What was he thinking?
And then the dude who threw the bottle was like, "Yeah, I was glad Ron didn't know it was me."
Yeah, they were like, "Did you feel bad that he went after that guy?" He's like, "No, I just wish I would have tripped him."
To make matters worse, he could have got away with it, but he cold clocks our test after that. Dude was a dummy. Threw that beer at him, and they said you could just see it. Crazy.
Yeah, man, it was a really good documentary though, and like we talked about on the top end of this podcast, we're talking about Untold and what's coming up with that. I mean, this could really be huge for Netflix being able to tell these stories that are untold.
That's a fact. That's
So,
a fact. I'm
I'm
excited.
excited to see what more they do post the stories that they tell in the next few weeks.
Now, are we about to get into arguably the best DC movie? DC?
Depends on when you want to talk about The Bachelorette. I guess we need to end
We
with
do that
that.
because, like, I don't want everybody, like all of our DC fans, to have to sit through our Bachelorette talk. But was that the best DC movie yet? Besides, like, post Christopher Nolan?
Yeah, because I mean, I think that was one of the best movies in general I've seen
this year.
This year, yeah,
It's the best action movie of this year so far, for sure.
Because to me, it doesn't necessarily feel like a superhero movie. It feels like
a secret agent movie.
Feels like a secret agent movie. It feels like a Dirty Dozen, like
man on a mission, Expendables.
Like, yeah, just a team up. Like it just seems like a team up with like a lot of badasses, and and because like a lot of them aren't like super recognizable besides Harley Quinn
and Polka Dot Man.
I really wouldn't say Polka Dot Man is very recognizable.
Well, to me, I'm a Batman fan.
I get that, but I'm saying like to the normal.
Oh yeah, to the normals, it's just Harley Quinn and maybe King Shark due to the Flash
and Harley Quinn series.
Yeah,
but yeah. So I think that I would look at this more so as how great of a movie it was than a superhero movie, because I mean,
he reinvented the superhero movie again. Like he showed you can make it something like this, like you said, this Dirty Dozen type movie. It felt fresh. The humor didn't feel like Marvel humor. For all of those people saying this is Guardians of the Galaxy humor, it was not.
No,
this felt like mature, super bad humor kind. Like I don't want to say super bad humor, but it felt like very, very raunchy, very dirty humor.
The Dix joke with Cena. I feel like this was James Gunn being like,
I'm gonna do what I want.
I'm gonna take that Guardians humor and I'm gonna actually do it the way I wanted to do it, and not the way that Marvel wanted me to do it.
When Cena was standing in his fucking underwear and Idris Elba's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he just looks. I'm just like, bro, Cena is killing it. He was the star. He was seen as great as Margot Robbie was, as great as Idris Elba was. John Cena really stood out among them. He stood out as like you didn't think so?
I feel like they all had their moments. Like I feel like John Cena definitely had some big shine moments. I would say before the big events at the end, before his like heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Idris in the climax of the movie had his big moments. And
I loved Idris. I loved Idris and Margot. I really loved every character in this movie, but I just thought Cena was like, if Idris and Margot are 1B, Cena's 1A.
But I feel like Margot and the love affair with the dictator, that shit was fire. Like I felt like I was in a totally different movie. Felt like this was a totally different Harley Quinn than I'd ever seen before. I was like, oh, she's really doing it now.
Yeah, like she's out here.
Yeah, she's out here now. I see what she's doing. Like that shit. I did not see it coming. Like it was just one of those things where like it happens and you're like, I did not expect that to happen. Like,
if I have one negative, Amanda Waller. I didn't like. I thought Amanda Waller.
True to form, Amanda Waller. Like I just felt like she
was. I felt like she was more of slapstick in this than she was in the first one. The first one, she was very serious. She was very Amanda Wallery. This one felt like they were making. I don't want to say making a joke of her, but it didn't feel. That's just my only criticism. It's just I didn't like Amanda Waller how James Gunn did Amanda Waller.
Yeah, I guess that's where we disagree, because I feel like James Gunn showed us Amanda Waller in her true form. Like she is evil.
No, for sure. I'm with you.
I mean, she
And
is.
I just thought David Ayer did a little better job at that. I thought that was the only thing Ayer did well.
I mean, I haven't revisited that movie in the longest time, so I don't really remember exactly how her portrayal was. But I just felt like,
Like, I just
the
don't
way
know if
that.
Amanda Waller's subordinates would have hit her with a stick and she'd have been cool with it.
Well, I don't think she was cool with it. I mean, she just got knocked out, so it's not
Yeah,
really like she could
fair.
have anything to say about it.
That's fair. But love the fact that the opening scene right in the movie, like
Yeah.
you're right, like this movie doesn't take breaks, this movie doesn't stall. You're right in it, and I love the cutaways from like, okay, this is the start, this is the distraction, the real team's on the other side of the bench. I love how we kept going back. James Gunn was very what was the word I'm looking for? Very open with the way he structured this time wise. He was very loose with time. It felt very Tarantino-esque with that in it. It felt kind of like how Inglourious Basterds kind of did that, but
Yeah.
Fucking Blackguard just walking out. Hey, I sold him out. Fucking Pete Davidson. I told you that fuck was gonna be dead early. They killed that whole front team. We predicted for a while that all those people were gonna die. I just didn't know they were gonna die that soon. Boomerang too, dead. Rick Flag, dead. Shocking. Didn't see it coming.
Rick Flag died?
At the end.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Peacemaker.
Yeah. The weasel stuff was hilarious, especially when he gets in the water, and like the end credit deal with the weasel too. I thought was a pretty good nod at the end.
TDK.
I thought Javelin
Your
was
name
good.
is the detachable kid. Oh my gosh, what a fuck! And he's just walking around hitting. Oh yeah, Javelin was great. Harley got past Javelin stuff. Mongol thought I would have liked to see more from her, but
Yeah,
I
she
get
didn't
it.
really get much.
I get it. Gunn couldn't use that much of her, just killed her. I don't know if those bullets would have killed her because she is Mongol. If
But
I
she got
wanted,
blown up. She got burned up.
but I don't know if that would have killed her. Just comic wise, like she's the sister of Mongol, who's a Superman villain, who Superman shoots eye beams at the both of them and they don't die. So it's like, but that's me really being really picky. But all the blood sport action, the fucking Peacemaker action was great. Polka Dot Man seeing his mom is fucking weird and out there, but hilarious. His
I didn't
power.
realize he was as deadly as they made him out to be.
No, Gunn upgraded him because I was about to I made that joke of like, yo, if Polka Dot Man hit Robin with some of these, he'd be dead. The Polka Dot Man in the comics, it was like a teleporter or a shocker. Like they weren't. He wasn't a real meta.
Because I mean, he took off Starro's damn leg.
Yeah, Batman would got beat. And it would just been one. One of them had to hit him. That's it.
I really liked Ratcatcher's deal too.
She was great. Ratcatcher was a really great character. I loved
Sebastian.
I was about to say, I'm not a big fan of Baby Groot, not a big fan of Gunn doing what he did over there, but Sebastian, I love the connection with Idris. And when all them rats was crawling over Idris, I felt it because he was just like, oh, I'd have been fucking gross, bro. There's no way everybody was just cool with all them fucking rats just rolling through. No, sir. No, sir. Nasty. And then Margot Robbie diving into Starro and living in his gut, in his like sack.
Eyeball, yeah.
Ooh, I was just like, nasty.
I think the Starro stuff played really well.
See, comparing it to the first Suicide Squad, Enchantress didn't work. Starro really worked, and Starro's like such a villain that shouldn't work. Like the fact is, when you say the Suicide Squad's fighting Starro, you're like, huh? But it really, really worked, and it showed why the Suicide Squad is so good at what they do. And I loved his team. I definitely want to see Gunn in this universe again, even though we're going to see it in January with Peacemaker. But I want to see him do another Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
Peacemaker's going to be fucking great. Like, I'm so excited for that show.
Yeah, Peacemaker's going to be a really good show. It's obviously prequel.
No, it's a sequel.
He's dead.
You didn't stay till after the credits.
Oh, so there was an after credits.
Yep, he's alive.
There you go. I only saw the Weasel post credit.
No, yeah, Peacemaker's alive. The dude with the glasses and the blonde-haired white lady from Amanda Waller's crew walks into the hospital, and the lady was like, yeah, we were able to save him. And they were like, he's a murderer. Like, Waller's just throwing this in our face because we supported that other lady, and she's making us babysit this dude. So Viola Davis isn't going to be in charge of them. Obviously, probably couldn't go into the show. So the guy and the girl are going to be his handlers in the Peacemaker show.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
So that'd be pretty cool.
Yep. And then Vigilante's one of the people that's going to be in it. There's a bunch of people that's going to be in Peacemaker. I'm excited for that. Gunn, man, give him the reins. Let him run DC, man. I'm with it. I'm with a James Gunn DC. And then you pair that with Matt Reeves as like a counter. DC's in good hands right now.
Did you know that in the original concept art, they were going to go with Deathstroke?
Idris Elba's going to be Deathstroke. Yep.
No, they were going to go with Deathstroke and Joe Manganiello.
Oh, they were going to do Joe. Oh, because see, I heard about Idris being Deathstroke. Oh, they were going to do Joe. See, that tells me DC
and then they were like
ties to the Snyder shit.
And I think like Joe couldn't do it, or like they did realize that they couldn't do Deathstroke, and then like they got Idris involved, and like they were like, well, Idris can't be Deathstroke, so we're gonna like bring Bloodsport, and I liked Bloodsport.
I like Bloodsport too. Yeah, I would have liked Deathstroke. Hopefully, they can bring in Deathstroke in the next one. But I liked Bloodsport. Didn't know he had all those swords. Like when Peacemaker brought out that sword, I was like, these two dudes use swords. Like, what are they doing? They felt like Sportsmaster.
Yeah, man, that movie was absolutely wild. It was definitely, the best movie that's been out so far.
It was great. I'm so excited to watch it.
It might have been better than some of the stuff I saw last year. I can't even remember anything last year that I was like.
It's better than all the Marvel TV shows this year. It's better than Black Widow. It's better than some of the superhero movies last year. It's better than the only thing it's not better than is like The Boys, but like this.
Yeah, but I'm saying like movie wise, like I think it's better than Tenet.
Ooh, I'm not going that far yet.
Well, I mean, like in a sense that it made sense to all audiences.
It did. I love this movie. I'm not trying to shit on this movie. I love this movie. I love the humor. I love everything about it. It was great. Like I said, give Gunn the keys to the kingdom, him and Matt Reeves. I'm ready for it. Now that just has me excited for the Batman. I'm so ready for the Batman.
Right.
Definitely. So, and we can do this year, like DC is looking good. Batman's next. If the Batman hits, Flash now has even more pressure on it.
Oh, yeah.
Flash has even more pressure on it now because Gunn's movie was a success.
Yeah. And I guess we're still trying to figure out where Gunn's movie lies in the multiverse.
Yep. So
obviously now we're going to need to connect something that gives us that Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn into whatever
Batman you want to use. Yeah, exactly. Flash has so much pressure on it, so we're going to have to wait and see. But I'm giving this movie a 9 out of 10. It was great.
Yeah, I'll stay with that. 9 out of 10.
It was fucking great. All right, let's shit on Greg. I don't even know why I had to watch the last episode. Once Greg was gone, and then she lied. She was like, she told Blake she loved him before the show was time. Like, remember how she told Greg she was like, I'm gonna tell you I love.
That's not a lie though. The Greg stuff happened, and then she goes to the next week with Blake, and Greg's already gone.
So is Blake her second? Okay. So is Blake her second choice?
Well, that's the thing. I think Blake might have been her first choice the whole time. That's why she was giving Greg the runaround. She was like, "Well, I mean, like, I don't know if I can."
Greg knew. That's what Greg knew in his soul. That's why, like, everybody's like, "Yeah, Katie told him off. Christoph minced plots. I see you out there, McLovin, telling off, talking about Greg this, there." But like, bro, I'm sorry.
He reacted poorly.
I'm sorry, but like Katie saying like you were gaslighting me, I was right the whole time. No, this dude told you he's been depressed since he lost his dad, and you're the void that fills his heart. And all you could say to him in that moment was, "I love looking at you." Schubert, I'd have reacted poorly too. Don't let me tell you I love you and you tell me I look good. I'm like, what? Don't acknowledge me, and then after that, you're gonna say, "Oh, I'm begging you to stay. Like I'm giving you the rose. I told your family I'd give you the rose." No, That's not the point. I don't care about that. You didn't acknowledge the fact that I said I love you, which hurts even more because that means you don't love me.
Yeah, I don't think it's as deep as you're putting it as.
That's how I think Greg saw it.
I don't think he's that smart to think that way.
Oh,
I mean, I think what happened is like Katie definitely did wrong. I mean, I don't say that Katie did anything right because I mean she shouldn't have reacted in that sort of way. I still think she was still on the fence. She wanted to keep him around for another week, and I think that
Justin was gonna leave.
Oh yeah, because Justin was going to be gone, and then she would have had an opportunity to like suss it out, see him with her family. Because I mean, obviously, he would not have been able to handle that fucking aunt. I mean, she was a nut.
Yeah.
So I think she still had some things that she wanted to make sure she sorted out between Blake and Greg, and she wasn't going to say I love you until she figured out which one that she was going to choose. And I mean, I think it's telling with the whole I love you thing with Blake is that she told Blake I love you, and then she told Justin to go. Like she didn't go on a date with Justin. And she was like, I stayed true to my word. I knew who the one was, said I loved him, and I cut ties. And I think like Greg wanted all that to happen to him at that point, but at that point it was still
Blake could have won.
It was still that, but I mean, like you got to think in terms of like if it was a normal and Michael would never have left. They would have gone to a rose ceremony, then they would have another date, and then they would have had another date. Like there were still 2 more weeks to go with like when they were having all this stuff, and all this stuff happened, and the whole Michael stuff with Michael had just happened, and Michael I assume was probably gonna like the thought process in my head is that Michael and Greg were gonna be the final two. Michael leaves, and then she goes and does she obviously did Blake before Greg. And then, she has a really awesome time with Blake and his family. And she's like, okay, well, maybe I can get over the Michael thing and Blake could be the guy. I think she was still all in on Greg. And then when it got to that moment, she was like, she said the wrong thing. And I feel like he just reacted super poorly to it. Like, obviously he would have had, in the moment of that night, I think he was justified. Like in the way that he acted.
I agree. It's the other.
It's the next day where like he comes in there and he berates her and is like, I deserve better. Like she's like, I've done everything I can to validate, and she told him like the stuff about the I love you, and like, and she literally there on her hands and knees begging him to stay, and he's just
she got. I gotta say, if I'd have saw a girl on her hands and knees for me, I'd been like, all right, this kind of resolves my male
national TV.
My male insecurity of me telling you I have a hole in my heart. That's where it was like, all right, Katie, I feel you. But I didn't think
it's on top of that. It's like this was the first issue they've had. And the entire season he's been a whiny little bitch the entire time about like me and Katie. I need more validation. I'm like, dude, you got. And she broke it down for him in that.
I ain't fuck with that. I ain't fuck with that. She was like, "Oh yeah, you're an actor." And he was like, "Well, I'm not Meryl Streep." She's like, "Well, obviously we know." Katie, don't start throwing jabs at Greg. That's fucked up.
Bro,
and then breaking out.
That was him not denying it. If he really wanted to deny that he wasn't on the show because of X reasons, not the proper reasons, he would have denied it. He did not.
He did.
He made a joke. He made a joke. He made a joke. That's all he did. I think there's some. I think that Katie is wrong in a sense of his intentions, because I think at that point he actually was like feeling feelings. But I also think
he would have got engaged.
No, I don't think he would have gotten engaged. I don't think he wanted to. I think he realized that was his out.
So you really on team for Greg?
I'm not on team. Yeah, I mean, I would if he was the Bachelor. If they put him to be the Bachelor, I would not watch that season because I just don't think that I don't think they'd give it him
he
any
can't be after this.
Yeah, I mean, like I just don't think that he was. I don't think he was right. I don't think he was right. I don't know. I'm not saying that Katie was all the way right either.
Yeah, okay. I don't think he was right for the comeback. Like he was right for the night. He was not right for the next day. Katie was wrong for the first one, but Katie was right for the second one. They should have worked through that.
And the stuff that happened in the finale too. Him not really denying the whole acting thing. Him saying like, "I'm sorry that you felt that way," instead of being like, he never was sympathetic to her situation, and it seems like he never understood the show that he was on, even though he applied for it 3 times since Hannah Brown's season. He's applied to be on The Bachelorette. Oof. So like he knew what show he was supposed to be on, and then you got all these other people coming out of his real life, and he'd be like, he is not this shy guy act that he's putting on. So it's just like I don't trust this guy, and I feel like that
Damn,
Katie
now
was
I
right
can't be Team Greg.
in a sense that he probably saw his out and was like, I'm gonna take this out right now because
Yeah,
I'm not about to get engaged. And then
ooh, good point. But he's not gonna be the Bachelor. There's no way they're gonna pick him after this. I think to your prediction earlier, as much as we want Andrew S, I think the Bachelor's gonna come from the next girl's season.
I saw someone posting today. It was like, why does The Bachelor always? Because Matt James didn't come from a season, obviously. Ari, when he was The Bachelor, he didn't come off the season prior.
Hated him.
Yeah, obviously. What was it? The season with the season that's on Netflix right now with The Bachelorette. The season after that, none of those guys became The Bachelor. So I wouldn't mind if they went out and pulled Mike Johnson and got him to come back to be The Bachelor, or if they got some
Old Mike, Big Mike, Demi Lovato's
yeah
Mike. Oh, bring
yeah,
it back. Yeah, let's do it.
or if they went and got someone who had some stints on Paradise that may or may not look good. Someone from Tayshia's season, like they never got their opportunity because of Matt James. There were some guys there that, Ivan from Tayshia's season, I would like to see him maybe do it, or, Brendan, or some of the people that finished late. So, I think there's definitely a lot of people out there, and then you'll see what happens with Michelle's season. So there's definitely a lot of people who are out there, but yeah, just not Greg Rippa, man.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
done
gonna
with
be
that guy.
Greg. It's not gonna be Greg.
I think he'll be in Paradise next year.
Andrew S might be too.
Maybe
If he's not done,
or if he's not already on the season. Like I don't think that Justin for sure is not on The Bachelor in Paris. He came on a podcast and said I'm not on it. But I can't recall if I've ever seen or read of something where Andrew S was like, yeah, I'm not on it. Because like when I watched that promo and I saw Demi, who I did not know was on that season, and then like a few other people that I was like, I did not know you were coming. So like I'm just like, who's gonna show
who else
up?
is gonna become? Well, I'm excited to watch it. You got me in. I'm back in the Bachelor Nation. This season was good enough. Hooked me in. Fucking Greg. But that finale was pointless. Like once it was Blake, they tried to make it seem like are they gonna get engaged? Yeah, bitch. Yeah, gonna get engaged. Now my question is, do you think they're gonna last? That's a fat no. No.
I don't know, man. Like I think that they could last, but I just don't think like it's gonna. I don't know.
I don't know if
Like
she want to move to Canada.
well, I think he would move to America because I mean, he's one unemployed and two, he's obviously already traveling all the time.
True.
So like, what does it really matter where he's like set up? But I just think that I think that they kind of fit a niche together where they're two weirdos. I just don't really think that like they're gonna be like the Bachelor couple that everyone's like, oh yeah, Greg or not Greg, but Blake and Katie. Like that's the Bachelor. Like
they're not like
Zach and Tayshia.
And they're definitely no JoJo and Jordan Rogers.
No.
And bro, fuck Caitlin Bristow. This episode confirmed it. I do not like Caitlin Bristow at all.
No.
Tayshia should have just been the outright host. When Caitlin Bristow didn't realize she was coming to a break, when Greg and Katie were fussing, she's like, sorry, I gotta interrupt y'all. We gotta take a break. I was like, see, Caitlin Bristow, you're a shitty host.
Well, I mean, and I also feel like they did a bad job. Tayshia and Caitlin, in this sense, they did a bad job moderating that scenario.
They did.
And I hate to mention the man's name because he's out now, but Chris Harrison would not have let Greg walk off that set without having a combo.
Yeah, he wouldn't have. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Good for Greg though, man. I'm not staying for this bullshit. Out of here. Peace, Tayshia and fucking Caitlin Bristow. You gonna stop me? You gonna go get your mans to stop me? That fucking weirdo. Caitlin Bristow.
Caitlin's man. Jason?
Yeah.
Jason's the man,
dude. But solid season, man.
Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't the best, but
it wasn't the worst.
It wasn't the worst. It was the least viewed since Hannah Brown's.
For real? Damn.
But I mean I think that has to do more so with people who are diehard on the Chris Harrison being like, I'm not gonna watch because Chris Harrison's not on there, blah blah blah. And also, Katie was 11th place in her season, so she's not really like
she wasn't that she wasn't that interesting. I'll give her that. The men were more interesting in this season than she was.
Yeah, so like I'm hoping that when they choose, like I think Michelle's season is going to pick up. I think a lot of people are going to tune in for that because like Michelle was pretty beloved on that season. But I think whoever they pick for The Bachelor, they need to pick someone that's like a big deal
A bit, yeah, a
and
favor.
someone a favorite and someone who knows the show because that was the biggest thing with Matt James is that dude did not know what show he was on. So
Yep,
just
that's fair.
yeah, so they'll pick. Hopefully they'll pick someone good. I don't know.
But that's pretty much all we got. Sorry, everybody. I've been hiccuping for the past like 10 minutes. Couldn't help it. Didn't have any water. It's just coming out. But you guys can find me at LimbWT. Follow Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think. Be sure to check out the most recent episode of the Bros Who Think podcast. Anime Talk is out, and there's a new One Piece manga review. And you can follow me at LimbWT on Letterbox. Always reviewing stuff I'm watching.
Yep, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ASuper14. Letterbox Adam BWT. I didn't do one for Under the Skin. What was the other movie? I watched Attack the Block with John Boyega. Is it like a
Did you like it?
debut? Yeah, it was a good movie. So I may review that.
Okay.
I haven't reviewed Suicide Squad yet, so I'll probably do
Yeah, I
that.
haven't put that on there. Did I might have put it on there. Did I give it a 4?
Ooh,
I might have gave it a 4.
blasphemy.
I think I
At
did.
least a 4 or 5.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.
Oof, change that.
To what, a 5?
4 or 5.
Oh, 4.5? Yeah, you're right. It is a 4.5. You're right. You're right. Yeah, there we go. 4 or 5.
Right.
Good rating.
Well, next week we'll be embarking on Titans, and I think soon we have that Showtime show Heels coming up.
Heels
So,
is this, so yeah, we'll have Titans and Heels next week.
yeah.
Heels is this Sunday.
Okay, I missed that on Movie on the Rise, but yeah. So Heels is this Sunday, so make sure that you look out for that. We'll be talking about Heels and Titans next
Mm-hmm.
week. So I hope everyone out there has a great week, and as always, keep binging.